Hello there and welcome back my friends, welcome back to another video. In this video we are looking at my QubiQ 30 shrimp aquarium. Well, unfortunately it's not really a shrimp aquarium anymore. The reason being I haven't got any air conditioning or anything like that in my shed. And recently the UK had a bit of a heat wave where temperatures got up to around 32, 33 degrees for a couple of days, almost a week. And my shrimps sort of melted in the heat, and I'm really sad because they were looking really nice. I had some wine reds in there, I had some quite expensive rare shrimp in there, black pintos and everything. But my mistake, I didn't have necessary controls on how to keep temperatures down, and especially with caridina shrimps you really need to have that kind of thing in place. So a bit of a shame, but what I'm going to do is come back to it with shrimp and add some neocaridina. It's kind of debating of what type. I know I can get cherry shrimps quite easily, but cherry shrimps are pretty common. They would look really nice because they'd pop in all of this green. As you can see, the tank is flourishing. But there are other types, like there's some blue ones that I can get. So, I don't know, let me know what you think, what type I should get. But in terms of the tank itself, it's doing really well. If you watched my last update about how I beat algae in the tank, you'll know that I'm using Flourish Excel every day to keep the tank up with the carbon level. I'm also using liquid fertilizers, which I mix up myself. So it's a mixture of micro and macro fertilizers. I do that once a week, and I've also put in some root tabs below the lily and the cryptocorin, and it's doing so well. I'm so happy with it. Unfortunately on the floating plant side I did have some salvinia in there. There's a few little bits left, but a bit of duckweed made its way in, and duckweed did what duckweed does. And it's taken over and completely destroyed my population of salvinia. Really annoyed with it. Not much I can do now. I guess I'm just going to have duckweed in here forever. I'm never going to get rid of it because it's basically impossible to get every single little piece. But as you can see there, I've got lily pads, well, lotus pads I suppose, because this tiger lotus has done exceptional. When I first put it in there, I didn't really like its environment. It didn't do a lot. It almost died back, but when I put a root tab under it and started properly doing the CO2, it's been sending up these pads quite frequently. I cut them back. I mean, the light is quite central, so the ones that pop up near the edges do tend to die back. However, I love the look of it. Like a little nano tank with lily pads or lotus pads in it looks amazing. I do wonder whether I'm going to get a flower, because that will be insane. And I think the temperatures have really helped this because it's a tropical plant. You see them a lot in quite warm, humid countries. Being in a warm, humid shed, it probably quite likes this environment. So kind of ideal really. In terms of livestock, I have lost a few killifish. They just keep jumping out. That's why the water level is a bit lower than the surface. I took the lid off because it was getting dusty and it just looked, you know, a bit horrible. And it also had a gap around the edge anyway, so any jumping fish would have just got out nevertheless. So I took it off. A few have jumped out. I've probably got half the population left, but they haven't jumped out. I might add some more, but I'm quite happy with what they've got at the moment. The rice fish keep getting eggs, but they don't hatch. Although I did see one baby. I think possibly they're eating the babies. Bit annoying, but never mind. The big addition though is this beautiful placat Betta fish that I've got. It's not one that I've seen when I worked in a shop very frequently. I've seen kois, but this is called a Nemo koi, so it's got a bit more red on it, I guess, but it's stunning. It's a short fin, being a placat. I think this 30 litre tank's kind of the ideal environment for it because it's kind of low flow, lots of coverage, lots of floating plants, and it's just really loving life in here. So that's another thing I need to consider when I'm adding shrimp to this tank, is the fact that I've got a Betta in here now, and maybe it will eat the shrimp. I don't know. Bettas can be very temperamental. Some will eat shrimp, some won't. They'll certainly eat the shrimp fry, but not necessarily eat the adult. So we'll have to play it by ear. Maybe I'll add a few and see how he does. Everything's positive except for all of my shrimp dying, but in terms of the tank, I think it's looking stunning. I'm really happy with it, just as this kind of little ornament in the corner of my shed. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and also subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber already. Once again, thanks for watching and happy fish keeping.